winters back here in Maine, or late fall anyway. We had a stretch of summer weather in mid-November, and wake up this morning and it's in the low 40s. And it'll be about that all day, so it's cooler than our usual fall, but looks like it's probably here to stay. Don't know what kind of a winter we're going to have. Right now, I've got to set the neck. Here, take a look. I've got the neck with a block here sort of clamped into place, and I've got this long straight edge down the center, and the neck is off a little bit. Actually, quite a bit. It's got to come this way first of all. We haven't done this part yet, just the left and right. So I've got to take some off this side of the heel, and it's more than just a little sandpaper in there. I've got to take it out and do a little chiseling on it, take some off. So that's the next step. Looking much better, lined up with the center seam, and we're almost on. I can adjust that when I set the neck in there. Now I've got to work with it this way. The neck is tipped back a little bit, and the school of thought says a few degrees back is good, but I want to get this a little flatter. So I'm going to have to take a little bit off the top sides right here in order to make that happen, to bring the neck up. Well, I've got this just about right. There's a 30-second gap under the top. If I push this down a little bit, it closes. So that when I set the neck, it should be close enough that if I do some sanding across the top, I should be able to get it just the way I want. Now, this is another Irving Sloane trick. I've got a piece of veneer, just a little thin piece of wood, and I'm going to put at the bottom of the mortise. And then, when I put this in, it will be just a little bit proud of this. Now, I've got this drill taped off at about 1.5 inches, and I'm going to drill along the side of the mortise, right in here, so that it drills through the mortise and the tenon at a slight angle, not straight up and down, but towards into the body. Then, later on when I glue it in, I'll take the shim out and I will put these 2 dowels in here, and when I go to press the neck down with the shim out, it'll force the mortise forward and lock it in. Learned this from Irving Sloane in his book, and I've used it and I really like it. Now this will be put in here, and when that happens, hopefully it'll force the neck forward when I glue it in. And it's time to do that now. See the hole that was drilled, and half of it is over here and half of it is right here. Well, I've got the bridge marked off in sort of a standard shape, a little bit longer by about 1/8 of an inch than usual because I'm going to be spreading the strings out a little bit more with my fingers. Now I'm going to cut it out in the bandsaw and we'll start shaping it. So here's the general configuration. The bridge is 80% done, and I have to work on the fretboard now. But the bridge is in about the right place, and so is the fretboard. A piece of 120 grit sandpaper glued on. This is a piece I've cut off one of my belt sander belts. It's new. And going to use it now to try to level the neck that's been glued on to the guitar. I've got the fretboard laid on here, and the bridge is in the position that it is going to be, and I've got a straight edge across here and I have a slight lift. It's about 1/16 of an inch. It's not 1/8 of an inch. Which is about right. I may try to take the neck down just a little bit more, or possibly the fretboard a little bit more to bring it down to about 1/16. That would be about right. The big problem with guitars is getting the action right. And it's never a hit or miss process, but you do the best you can, and sometimes it's better. And sometimes it's not. And it's not much fun when you have a guitar that's a little harder to play because of bad action. And when you get one that's just right, God, it plays like an electric guitar or strings on a banjo. So keep your fingers crossed with this and hope for the best. Okay, moment of truth. Gluing the fretboard on. Now, a lot of times when they do these, they'll pin the fretboard, which means they put some brads in there so it doesn't slide around, but I think I can be successful in gluing it on without having to do that. Now I've got the nut temporarily placed up here as a spacer. Well, I have to leave that to dry. Hope I get it lined up good. I seem to have. It took a lot of time trying to do it. And of course the bridge will go right there. That's all I can really do with this right now. I could work on the bridge, but I'd like to wait until I get the neck finalized. I still have some sanding to do on the neck to bring it down to the edge of the fretboard and smooth that out. And then I can put my alignment tools on there and get that bridge. I can get it aligned with the center thing, but I want to get it aligned perfectly with the fretboard so I can space out my pegs and drill those. And I'm gonna drill that slot for the saddle, which is never fun. It's 3/32 of an inch thick, and it's right in the middle right here. But we'll get it done.